Okay, first of all, establishing shot. That shows like the environment, the location of where things are at. So if you're going to be filming like somebody making a journey through the snow, okay, you're not going to have an establishing shot on his feet. It's going to be maybe outside against the mountain of where he's going to be going, to set that stage. Next is a tracking shot. This follows the action at a constant distance and keeps the subject there at all times. So basically, if you have somebody trekking through the snow, you're going to be following them with the camera at a constant distance, at a constant rate, tracking the person the whole time. And you can do these that I'm saying in any order that you want to. Next is an arc shot. So here, Ryan. So Ryan, you stand here, okay, and then do like a kung fu move. Okay, so if you're gonna do a kung fu move and then an arc shot, remember the 20th century shot? The camera angle goes around it and different things like that. So I'm filming like this around in different angles. Okay, thank you. So be creative. Don't just stand there and then you do the arcing shot. I mean, be creative with your shots. I don't want to be bored to death while I'm grading these. Dolly shot. Dolly shot is different than a tracking shot in the terms it doesn't have to follow the action. With a tracking shot, it's tracking the action. Okay. With a dolly shot, that's just a dolly shot. So it doesn't necessarily have to track the main subject. A good example of this is sometimes like in a movie that has to do with like a lawyer or something, they'll follow the secretary like over the shoulder. They'll follow them into like the courtroom, and then once they get in the courtroom, they'll like pan and see the courtroom. Okay, so that's an example of that. Or you could have your shoe. You could like drag your shoe and follow and film the shoe, and then you pick up the shoe, and then hey, I got my shoe, and then you throw it, and then you start talking. Okay, a tracking shot would follow the shoe because that's what the action and subject was, but not with a dolly. Swish pan. Remember the monkey playing checkers? Okay, swishes back and forth. Usually you cut, but in this case we're not. So you're gonna like usually have two people, and then they go, and go back and forth between the two subjects. Next is the reverse shot, and then here I tell Ryan, you stand here. This is probably the most difficult shot. Remember, we're not going to be cutting it. So look at each other, you're going to be having a conversation. And don't be boring, like, hello, how are you? I mean, say something creative. So ask him a question, and with that, what I'm going to do is take my video camera, I'm going to go over the shoulder. I can see part of his head and shoulder in the shot. I can go back out more if you want, but usually this is a good point of view. Ask a question.
How's school these days?
Okay, wait. Don't say anything yet because what you need to do is switch over to this shot. And then you answer. It's quite good. Okay? Okay, and then I would switch on this side. Your turn.
Are you from Hungary?
Okay, then I switch on this side.
No.
Okay, then cut. Thank you. So the key is make sure that the person waits until the camera is looking at them before they answer. A lot of the students before, they would say like, how are you doing? And then the other guy would be answering while this guy is trying to get to his shoulder. So be patient on that. Head-on shot. I'm going to give you guys that. Head-on shot is basically, usually like runners will be coming right at the camera. You don't have to be looking straight at the camera like, okay, like the video. I mean, just look above the camera and then like run past it or do something creative. You could do a crab walk to the camera. Next is zoom. You don't have to like use the zoom on the camera. You can like use the manual zoom, okay, just like moving forward with the camera. The handheld shot. If you've ever seen like documentary kind of movies, usually they're scary. But let's say there's a guy who's stranded in Russia and he hasn't eaten for days. So he's like recording this. He's like has a camera. He's like shivering in the cold. And he's like, day 14. I'm stuck in the mountains somewhere in Russia and I haven't eaten in days. And then he's like, my foot's looking awfully tempting right now. And then I mean. So you get that point of view, the shakiness of the camera, and it's like a documentary. Let's see. Horizontal pan. Horizontal pans are basically just, it's not like this. It's basically you take the camera and then you or slightly pan it. Now, when you pan it, you want to make sure that it goes slowly panning. Now, if you go like this is fast pan. It may not look like much, but from the camera's angle, when you watch it on the screen, it's really fast. So be extra slow because it's not going to be as slow as you think, especially when you do your establishing shot. And then vertical pan is very similar. You're going to start low and go up, or start high and start low. A lot of times people do this, like when a big guy comes in, like to beat someone up, he's like, you hear boom, boom, boom. And then they film the feet first, like big feet, and then they like pan up, and there's this big guy like, I'm gonna beat you up, like Jaws, right, on 007, that one. So pan up. So there's horizontal pan, vertical pan, and POV, point of view. Remember I showed you a music video my students made about the girl couldn't see that guy even though he was all around her. And so she looked back and then there was nobody there. So what they did was you take the camera and you follow the person like over the shoulder, and then someone calls someone's name, and then they look back, and then you put the camera in the back. So that way, and then you see nothing. That's how they did it. So that's point of view shot. Now there's 4 subject shots. All you have to do is have somebody pose and stand. One is called the long shot. Long shot just means you can see the whole body. Second is medium shot. You see the waist up. The third is close-up shot. You can focus on like the head, or maybe if someone busted their arm or knee, you can like highlight that. And last is extreme close-up shot. So that's like on the nose or on the ear, on the eye, like really up close. And don't forget, say medium shot, and then like have it. And then switch to somebody else. Don't have the same person do every shot. So then like switch off, okay? And then do the next shot. And then extreme close-up shot. And then you have the eye. Okay? So those are the different shots that I want you to film with. So make sure you guys plan those out well. And then these are helping us practice filming for our project coming up. Okay?